Labour pressuring Scott Morrison to release transcript of Donald Trump seeking Australia's help. Politics.
Here's a summary of the article.
Labour is intensifying its demands for the Prime Minister to release the transcript of a conversation with Donald Trump, accusing Scott Morrison of cozying up to the US President at the expense of Australia's national interest. Mr. Morrison's call with Mr. Trump attracted international attention after it was revealed the US President had asked for Australia's help in investigating the origins of the Mueller probe into Russian election interference. Australia's former High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Alexander Downer, helped trigger the initial FBI investigation into Mr. Trump's links with Russia, well before Mr. Morrison became Prime Minister. Mr. Morrison's office yesterday confirmed the Prime Minister, in a call with Mr. Trump in September, had agreed to assist the U.S. Justice Department and Attorney General William Barr with his inquiry. Just weeks after the call, Mr. Morrison traveled to the United States, where he met Mr. Trump in Washington and Ohio. In May, Mr. Trump instructed Mr. Barr to investigate the origins of the Mueller investigation, including allegations law enforcement illegally spied on the Trump campaign in 2016. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who spent the weekend golfing with Mr. Trump, was among those who insisted Australia had already offered its help prior to Mr. Trump's call with Mr. Morrison, citing Mr. Hockey's letter as proof of that.
This post received a score of 20,760, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Said this before, but if you'd told me, 10 years ago, that Alexander Downer eventually would find a way to matter in world politics, I would have tried to slapped you sober.
Does spying on East Timor so he can rip off a third world nation just to secure a golden parachute into Woodside not count as important in world politics?
Not in world politics. With the depressing revolving door antics between politics and big business, it barely registers as news in Australia.
Till something significant enough in international relations that it has to go to The Hague isn't considered important in world politics.
It's legally and morally significant, but it didn't really make international headlines. Asked the Time IIRC. Granted, there was a lot else going on.
It's literally something that could be studied and fall in the purvey of an international relations or international organizations class. That's world politics. Not just what makes the news cycle.
Not a good week, Trump.
For Trump, no. For the rest of us, yes. Please, Australia. You're America's fun and crazy cousins. Please release the transcripts. We'll party later.
I'd be in favor of all elected officials having transcripts of all their meetings published. No more secrecy.
Trump's 2020 campaign is essentially digging up dirt on the competition, using his office to influence foreign governments, just to say that he looks better than they do. This is interesting.
It's not even a great strategy if he doesn't get caught. The risk-reward here is way out of whack.
Greater than the risk-reward here is way out of whack. I will likely end up spending the rest of my natural life fighting criminal charges constantly if I don't end up in jail actually, but at least a Democrat that was never going to get the nomination got slightly embarrassed. Art of the deal.
Username checks out. That's definitely someone who has weighed some risks and rewards in his past. A man who takes the opportunity to crank one out at the risk of a public indecency charge is a man with his priorities in check.
All the Aussie politicians are now thinking, damn, we can get into world politics. WTF are you doing, ScoMo? Release the fucking tapes.
Release the fucking tapes, cunt. FTFY. Let's not forget, it's Straya.
They're Australian politicians, they have to be politically correct. Only one fucking swear word per sentence.
Cunt isn't a swear word in Australia.
It's all how you use it. Can be harmless banter between mates, a mild insult to some rando, or the fullest word you can throw at them. It's all about delivery.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.